everyone, it's Dr. Job again. Welcome to part 7 of our video tutorial on Access. And in this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to create queries. But remember, last time I asked you to enter all this data in this table into our table of Idrangaku Patients DB using the form that we created. So hope everything is fine. We shall be heading right to the questions that we are going to be working on today. That's creating and designing queries. So we start with this particular table that I asked you to create, records 4. So here we are. We have to open that table, which is this persons table, and then we have to create a query to show all the female persons and name it as females. So this is how we create a query. Simply click on the object, database object that you're going to use, which is a table. Go to the create menu. Under the queries ribbon, choose query design. So once you choose a query design, you see this pop up coming, actually asking you which table you want to use. For now, we have only one table that's listed. But if we create like 4 or 5 tables, all the tables will be listed here. Then you can actually choose the table that you want to work on. Now for now, we are going to use this one table. Just choose add, then close this dialog. Now from add here, you're going to actually specify the fields that you want to appear on your query. You can either use that dialog up there, or you can choose from here. Like here, I can choose here ID. I can choose here pname, or I can continue from there. Just like after pname is date of birth, I just double click on it. Double click on this, so it will arrange them automatic for you. Diagnosis, ward, and district. So those are all the fields we need, but we only need female persons. So when you look at this these fields, these specifications here, there is another row here called criteria. Actually, that criteria is where we're going to specify how we want our query to be displayed, or our records to be displayed. You can put this query under gender. You can follow this horizontal line of query under gender where they intersect. Type there female. That's all you need. So once you've typed female, try checking, click run. So it has displayed for us all the female persons. So once it has displayed all the female persons, you can actually say, you right click on it, say save, and then the query is supposed to be females. So that's how simply we create a query. Go to query design, go to the criteria, and put the criteria you want to use for creating a query. Let's see in the next one that we are to create a query for all persons having malaria. Name it as malaria persons. The same procedure. Go to create, go to query design, add the table that you want to use, close this, add the fields that you want to appear in your query. I'm going to choose all the fields because I need them to appear in my query, but you can actually specify a few fields if you want. This time we need malaria, so our criteria is going to be under the field diagnosis, and then there we are going to type malaria. That will give us all the persons who are suffering from malaria. So you can actually click run, so you'll be seeing all the persons who are suffering from malaria. Then you save as malaria persons. Save as malaria persons. That is it. So we have actually created a query to get the people who are suffering from malaria. Then the next is we are also supposed to create a query, like the government wants to support all TB persons from Gulu. Create a query to help the government, name it Gulu TB. So this time we have 2 criterion. One is by district. These persons should be coming from Gulu. 2 is by diagnosis. These persons should be having TB. So we have 2 parameters or 2 criterion to do our query here, and the query must satisfy those two conditions ultimately. We don't use or, we use and. We're saying I've not yet finished adding the fields. We have word and the district. We said the diagnosis should be TB, while the district should be Gulu. So you follow your criteria. Under diagnosis you put TB, under district you put Gulu, then you run. We'll just be able to get there one person, and you call this as you save it as TB Gulu, such that when the government wants this list, you just go and print it out. And then there is also another query that the hospital wants to renovate ward 4A. Generate a query to show all the affected patients, name it as relocated patients. So you go to ward 4A, you go to your create query design, add this table, add all the fields that are there, because we need to see all those fields. But there are sometimes you are requested to only add a few fields, so in that case you can also specify those fields which are needed. The word is actually 4A, so that's where they are going to be relocating people from. So once under word and the line of criteria, put 4A, click run. You'll be able to see the affected patients. So save it as affected patients. That is it. Affected patients. Yeah. Then the next is to create a query. Actually it's supposed to be relocated patients. You have to create a query to filter all patients from Luero district and Wakiso district. Name it as Central Region. This is supposed to be relocated patients, so you can rename it as relocated patients. So that is it. Then we are also supposed to create a query to filter all those patients from Central Region, and the Central Regions have been classified as from Wakiso district and the Luero district. So that is how we actually create queries. So we say if it's from Luero or Wakiso. You see, you can say Luero or Wakiso either this way, or you can just put there Luero or Wakiso. Here we use the O keyword. It should run for us. Yeah, that's it. So we call this as Central Region. So guys, it's actually easy to create queries. To work with Access. If you can just follow these tutorials from A to Z, you will find that you have unlocked the secret of Access database within seconds. There's nothing much difficult here. Then we're supposed to create a query to select all persons whose name starts with the letter A and name it as A persons. Maybe these guys are unique, so we need to get people whose name starts with the A. So we add our fields as usual, blah 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 blah, weight, diagnosis, word, district. So under patient name criteria, now since the name starts with A, we shall put A asterisk. This means the first letter of the name has to be A, but any other letter after A, we don't care about it. If you want those whose name ends with A, you actually put star. If you want those which end with A, you actually put star, then A. Meaning whatever preceded we don't care, but whatever if the last letter is A, give for us all those guys. So for us, we said it's starting with A, so you put A asterisk, and then you run your query. There you are. You have got one person, and you have to save this as A patients. So that is it. Then we're also supposed to create a query to calculate the body mass index. Now remember, in our form we also had a calculated field. Now also in the query we can also do the same thing to get the calculated fields. And so here we go. We're going to create a custom field. In our query design, you're going to create query design. You add your tables, you add also your fields that you want to appear. You see, when you come to relationships, we shall actually be working with more than one table. So we'll be like creating a query from 3 or 4 tables and stuff like that. Now here we're going to create a custom field called body mass index. Guys, I hope you have all this data downloaded. If you haven't, please, you should be able to download the instruction guide from the website or from the course outline. Now our body mass index is calculated as weight divided by. So always at least try to put that in a bracket so that you don't run into errors, because if you don't, you may not get exact, or you may not get a correct value, or you may get the Access complaining. I remember telling you in our first tutorials that Access actually is a smart tool. So so if you make a mistake, then you are going to run into errors. So that's how we calculate it. I think I'm going to put this formula up. Let me put this formula up. Let me put this formula up. So you guys, please, you shouldn't you shouldn't mess up with the formula or the function, because that's actually what's important. This is the formula you guys are going to use. This is what you enter in that field. You see, our field is body mass index, which is equal to weight divided by height squared. But height squared must be in brackets so that you don't run into errors. So remember using this formula without actually changing anything. So this is what actually works. This is what we are going to use for our body mass index. So you can now run it and you see our body mass index being displayed. It calculates and displays it, and then we have to save this query as BMI. Yeah, BMI, that's body mass index. So hope that's clear. That's how we can create calculated fields in queries. Then the ministry wants to provide aid to all pregnant women who are below 18 years. Create a query to sort this group and name it as underage. And we have to sort our records in using age in descending order. So we have to create a record to get the underage girls who have got pregnant but they have not reached the age of 18 years. So we are going to go to create. You go to query design, you add your fields. Now this is a little bit tricky one, so I think we are going to pay attention to this, and this attention has to be a keen attention, because as I told you, Access is smart. We make a mistake here, we may not be able to proceed. It will be complaining, banging bells here and there. So one thing is, first, for us to get those girls who are below the age of 18 years, we need to first of all create a field called age. So we're going to use this age to actually calculate the age of all the persons. And then we shall be using the less than or the greater than kind of comparisons to check who is less than 18, who is greater than 18. So to calculate this, we need to subtract the current date. Okay, we use the date function. So this is the current date. We put a bracket, we put current date, that's the date function, minus the date of birth. Then after that, it's now going to give us the number of days. Then after that, we divide by 365.2. 25, which is the average number of days in a year. We shall say let this appear. Now, before actually we can proceed, let's try to see if we can be able to calculate the age. Run that. We are actually able to calculate the age, but it calculates it in decimals. Okay, that works. It helps us. Now go back to query design view. Then here we are now going to say we only need those who are less than 18. I think I also need to give you guys this formula on so that you can see it clearly how we can calculate the age of a person from the date of birth, when the date of birth is given. As I said, this function actually gets the current date. This block here, you see here in square brackets, gets the date of birth from the database. Then the whole thing from here to here gives us the number of days in between when the person was born and today. Then we have to divide this by 365 with 0.25, which is the average number of days in a year. So it will give us that. So if you put here less than 18, then we only need females, because there may be even some males who are pregnant, but we only need females. So you go to gender, you put there female. That is it. Put there female. So that is it. Then you run your query. So you get that person who is below 18 years. And then you save it as under age. Okay, guys, we are actually proceeding well. Then we have to create a query to retrieve all persons who were born before 1962, and we have to call it the pre-independence guys. This is amazing. Yeah, people who were born before independence in Uganda, not in another country, because Uganda got its independence in 1962. We're going to go to create, add this. We are going to add our fields. We're going to add our fields. Here you can choose how many fields you want to add, but since we are not instructed, we are going to choose all the fields. Now under date of birth, here is where we're going to get our date part, our year part. So we shall say year, the year part of date of birth. The year part of date of birth is less than 1962. That's how we're going to do it. Then we check. We need to be very sure that it runs. So these are people who were born before 1962. So for your view, here this is what we do. We say year of date of birth. We are getting just the year from date of birth. And then we are saying if it's less than 1962, display for us those records. And that is it. So these guys are what we call the pre-independence guys, people who were born before independence. That's it. My spelling is not good. Pre-independence. Say okay. And we also supposed to get people who were born between 1995 and 2000, and we have to call these guys as millennium age guys. So, oh, I'm sorry with my colloquial speech, I'm not supposed to use guys. Never mind. We're going to go to create query design. We add this table with all its fields. This has been a long tutorial, I know, but in this tutorial we have actually uncovered all the secrets of creating a query, whether it's a calculated field, whether it's kind of logic, whatever. Everything is now clear. Actually, with this you can say that you are going to create your queries with ease. People who were born between that, between is actually, we can use the word, just say between the year part of date of birth. Okay, let me read the question again. We say who were born between 1995 and 2000. That means we can say here part of date of birth is greater than 1995, and at the same time the year part of date of birth is less than 2002. So that is our criteria. You can run, check people who were born within that time between 1995 and 2000, and then you can save this as millennium age. So for your reference, here is the formula we entered. You can see that's how it is done. And then we also have another query for people who are supposed to get aid. These are people who are suffering from TB and they are above 50 years. So go to create, design, this, add your fields as usual, add all the fields. But this, for time saving, I'm not going to add all the fields. I'm now going to create another field here called age. You guys, you know, I'm going to calculate my age from here. I'm going to say this is date minus, you guys, I already saw you the formula of getting the age, so it's not a new thing. So once we have got that, we now need to say those who are actually above 50. Okay, the criteria is those who are above 50 years old. You run it, that only gives you all those people who are above 50 years old, but we need those who are suffering from TB. So we can actually go ahead and add that field of diagnosis here. So here we need only TB. So when you run it, you see there's no one above that age who is suffering from TB. But we save it, because you never know, later on we'll add them and they will be there. TB aid. That's what we're supposed to get. Yeah. If you look at design here, that is it. Go to this. Yeah. That is it. And that ends this tutorial, this long tutorial. And see you in the next tutorial.